and welcome back to the series. This video will talk about what hurdles we may possibly face when living our lives and the relevance of this to you as a medical professional. Let's start with the obvious. Transphobia. Lovely. Unfortunately, many people in this country still don't want us to exist. These may be small things we face, like forms, paperwork, or systems that aren't just simply built for us, to hostile media organisations, to outright physical violence that some of us face, just because we are trans. This is an unfortunate reality for us every day, and a real fear we really can't just turn off. From your practice, you may have noticed some of this. You may have noticed a lot of trans people suffer mental health issues, and many do come from traumatic backgrounds. Unfortunately, it's disturbingly common. To reiterate from the last video, this is not caused by being trans, but the consequences of being trans in society, as nobody who is trans feels comfortable in the gender they were forcibly raised in, by definition. This naturally causes a lot of friction and pain when going through childhood and into adulthood, really. And for a lot of trans people, they do not all face the same challenges as everyone else. For example, as someone who was born in Poland, it is impossible to change my name or gender without suing my parents in Poland, which is obviously a non-starter given that I come from a background of trauma. Some trans people like myself go against the odds to get themselves recognised as, well, themselves. They don't want to do it out of choice, but simply because they have to. Many of these obstacles, as we know, are historically put up by psychiatry. For the longest time, it was considered that being trans was a medical issue, a mental issue, so to speak, with terms such as transvestism and transsexualism in the ICD and the DSM, some of which still exist today. Well, here's the thing. The history of trans people dates back way further than you think. We didn't just appear in 2016. We've been around for centuries, but we've been considered freaks and sexual deviants by society. You may find parallels in how homosexuality is treated, for example, with similar tragedy happening to trans people right now. But basically, I'm going to summarise it. In the 50s and the 60s, gender specialists existed. However, many of those abused the powers of doctors. That they chose to treat some people, they chose not to. They put up ridiculous obstacles in order to prove themselves as being trans, which is a ridiculous concept. We still have some of this today with the gender clinics, with the GICs. That legacy is still there. If you go further back, you'll find all sorts of things that happened to trans people. In the 40s, you had electroconvulsive therapy, for example, which is clearly not the right method to help us, really, and it's quite tragic in that regard. It's absolute madness that just killed people for being themselves. Okay, some medical professionals did actually try. For example, in the 1920s, Germany, who you would not expect, was a pioneer in trans thought, proposing the radical idea that trans people should be integrated in society, just who they are. Unfortunately, the Nazis came and destroyed everything. Way to go, Hitler. Finally, there's multiple ways to be trans. Some may choose hormones, some may choose surgery, some may choose voice therapy, some may not choose anything. That is okay. They may use various pronouns. There's no set way to be trans, and even if they appear close to their birth gender, that's okay too. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how not to do what these doctors did, and how to treat trans people with respect, and what trans people would like out of you. Surprisingly, you'll find a lot of it is just basic GP skills that you've learned during your medical training, and there's nothing really exceptional that you need to know.